I have been programming for about 2 years. I didn't start game dev by learning Unity, and I'm glad I did so. Although Unity is one of the best game engines currently, maybe it's not the best option to choose when you're starting. There is one option you should strongly consider. So, I will be talking about all the things in the video that you should consider if you are planning to start by learning Unity, or even if you have been using it for a couple of time. Now let's start. About a year ago, I wanted to start using a game engine in order to make my video games. One of those options was Unity, a game engine that can be used to make games either in 2D or 3D using C#. I remember hearing Unity before because it's the tool with which some current popular games are made, like Fall Guys, Cuphead, etc. So I thought it would be a really good option because in addition its community is giant, so I would have lots of tutorials and information on the internet available if I had chosen to use it. Then I came across Godot, also a game engine that can be used to make 2D or 3D projects. But unlike Unity, Godot is quite easier to learn and understand because of the language JavaScript, and I thought the interface is more intuitive for a beginner. After thinking for ages, I made a decision. I will start learning Godot. To sum up everything, I made lots of projects, nothing really serious actually. But Godot was really easy to learn. In maybe 1 or 2 weeks, I was able to use it correctly and make games of my own. I was feeling that the community wasn't big enough and that Godot isn't really demanded by companies, unlike Unity, that every single game development company uses it. So once again, I had to choose a game engine. I had Unity or Unreal. Unreal, I think, is even more difficult than Unity and more difficult to run in a normal PC. For those reasons, I chose Unity. I'm not gonna lie, learning Unity was a headache and I couldn't really understand it after using it for like 2 months. After a few months, I was able to make more serious and complex projects, participate in game jams, etc. Yes, it was hard, but finally it was worth it. I was feeling like a professional game developer because, as I said before, a lot of companies use Unity nowadays to make their games. It was such a great feeling. I am sure that if I had started with Unity, I wouldn't have understood how it works properly and wouldn't have been able to make complex projects. Nowadays, I am using Unity to make all of my projects and I am planning to publish a game on the Play Store. I think Unity is a great and powerful game engine that anybody can learn, but if you have previous game development experience with any game engine or programming language, it will be much easier to start learning Unity. In addition, Unity is more difficult to run and set up than Godot, for example. If you want to use Unity, you have to download Unity Hub, then you have to download Unity Engine, and then you have to download a text editor like Visual Studio Code. But for example, Godot, you just download Godot, open it, and that's all. You can create your projects, you have there your text editor, and you can make your games. Godot is a .x file, it's a portable version, and it doesn't take too much space in your hard drive. But Unity, as I said before, you have to install a Unity Hub, Unity Engine, and a text editor. So yes, this may take a little no a lot of space in your hard drive. Also, Unity usually takes to open a project like a minute. Yes, a complete minute to just open a 2D project. Imagine if you had a really big project with a lot of things, with a lot of scenes, with a lot of game objects, with a lot of game objects. I don't know, it would take ages to open. And I have a really good PC nowadays. But for example, Godot opens a project in a second. Literally, you touch the project and it opens. So if you are starting, obviously learning programming is difficult. So you don't want to have much more problems. And by using Unity at the beginning, yes, you'll have some problems setting up a Visual Studio Code with Unity, even installing Unity, because sometimes it can turn difficult or it will take ages to download. That's why Godot is a really good option. It's just a .x file, it's a portable version. You don't have to install anything, and that's all. Let's say that you don't have a really powerful PC. Well, it will be nearly impossible to run Unity. Also, not being worried about licenses was amazing. Godot doesn't have any type of licenses. Also, Godot is an open source program, so you can contribute to it. Also, Godot doesn't require you to buy a license. If, for example, you are earning a lot of money, you don't have to buy any license. Unlike Unity, that you have, I think, 2 or 3 plans of subscriptions, that if you are earning a lot of money with your games made on Unity, you have to buy a special license to continue publishing your games. And these licenses aren't cheap. They are expensive, of course. But if you have to buy these Unity licenses, it should be because you're earning a lot of money. But anyway, Godot doesn't tell you to buy a license, even if you're earning $1 million per second. So if you're planning to make a lot of video games, publishing them or selling them, and you're determined to earn a lot of money, Unity, well, you will have to buy a special license to make that. So to sum up, starting with Unity based on my personal experience is really difficult, and maybe it becomes hard to learn it and use it. That's why I recommend you to start with a simpler game engine like Godot, or use a programming language like Python and a library called Pygame to have a previous experience on how games are made and how do they work. Then you can choose a game engine that companies usually use. This could be either Unity or Unreal, for example. You can have a go learning Unity at first, of course, but maybe you won't understand some things because you have no previous experience. In programming, there is no one way to succeed. You can try a lot of things until you find the best for you. This is all for today. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if the video was useful. Have a great day and bye bye.